Hi, this is Becky with Verticlimb. Today we're going to take a look at how to launch a course and how to navigate a course inside your Learn Center. After you've logged in, of course, you're going to go to your home page. It's going to say Welcome in your name. Simply scroll down, and what you're going to see is something called My Training and Development, and there's a boxed section like you see here. Inside that is something called Learning Plans. Now, learning plans are nothing more than a group of courses that have been given a name. In this case, I have 3 learning plans: Library 2, OSHA Compliance and Safety, Student Core Courses. Now, you might only see 1 or you might see 5. It doesn't really matter. All of these courses have been assigned to you based on your username and password. That's why it's important that you log in as yourself and you take these courses as yourself so you get credit for yourself. And these courses were assigned through your Human Resources Department and in your supervisors. So if you have questions about the courses that have been assigned to you, just go ahead and talk with them. All right. In order to take a look at some of the courses that have been assigned to us, we're going to go ahead and click on the plus sign next to that learning plan name. And these are all the courses contained within the OSHA Compliance and Safety Learning Plan. Now you can see that there's something called status and date completed over on this side. Once you've completed a course, your status will turn to complete and the date completed will turn to the date that you actually completed that course. Now the way that you successfully complete a course is at the end of each course there's a short quiz, usually 8 to 15 questions, and they require you pass with 80% or better. Now once you do that, the status will update immediately, and so will the date. So it will show that you have passed, and when your supervisors or Human Resources Department comes in to run reports behind the scenes, they can run reports on how you're doing with your training. They will see that you've completed it, the score that you got, and the date that you completed it. Alright, so let's get on to launching the course. Simply hover over the name of the course, in this case confined spaces, and then click with your mouse. And it's going to launch to a launch pad that says click here to launch the course. It's just one more click through, so go ahead and click on that link. And then an additional dialog box will open, and this is your class. I'm going to pull this down, and I want to maximize the screen because I want to see the whole screen. Right? So I can click on maximize, or if you want for some reason you can always hover over the edge and click and hold your mouse and drag these back and forth. I'm just going to maximize. Alright. A couple things on this screen. What you're seeing is a video with some voiceover. You can't hear it right now, but there is voiceover that is talking about some of the things that the words you can read on screen as well as what's going on in this video. If you wanted to pause this video, you just click the pause button to start it back up again. You click on the arrow for play. I'm going to pause it. In the corner on the left hand side you're going to see a few buttons. Glossary. If you click on that, it shows you definitions of words used inside of the course. References simply shows you some of the references used to build the course. Lots of times this is going to be OSHA's regulations and standards. Syllabus, this is just showing you what you can expect to see inside the course and what you should be able to identify by the end of the course, what you've learned. Alright, in order to advance to another slide forward, you click the next button, and in order to go back, you click the back button. Sometimes you'll have these hyperlinks that gives you more information about what's going on in the course, and you can go ahead and click on those. I'm going to hold this blue bar and drag it, and it just kind of shows you some additional information that you can read about. One thing to note, because I'm going to minimize this window again. Okay, because this window is an additional pop-up window, you might have to turn off your pop-up blocker settings for your web browser. So if you go to launch this course after clicking, I'm going to move this, after you click here to launch the course and let's say all you get is a blank white screen instead of seeing this, That's probably because your pop-up window has been blocked. So I would check back here and see if you've got a yellow bar that says pop-ups blocked. Otherwise, you can always go into the settings of your browser and turn off pop-up blockers so that you can actually view the course. Let's say you only have 10 minutes to do training today. You're not quite done, so you need to exit the course without taking the test yet. Look around the window and see if there's an exit button. In this case, there is not, so it's okay to just X out. Click that close button and then click the stop button. When you log in again, your place should have been held and bookmarked to be roundabout within a few slides of where you were last in the training. So you do not have to take your training all at once. You can come back in if you've only got 10 minutes today and then 10 minutes tomorrow, maybe split up your training. It's better to just take your time with the training than to rush through it and not really comprehend what's going on. So don't worry about zooming through everything and taking it all at once. Okay, so we didn't complete anything today, so it remains as incomplete, confined spaces. But I wanted to show you another version of a course. I'm going to minimize this by clicking on the minus sign. It turns into a plus, it collapses the list, and I'm going to go into another learning plan. And this one's called Library 2. I'm going to go ahead and launch a course called Bloodborne Pathogens. And once again, you're going to click here to launch. A new dialog box pops up. Now this one maximized itself on its own. And as you can see, there's a slightly different view in this course. Ultimately, this one is just telling you all of the sections ahead of time. We've got 9 different sections, which includes the exam at the end. As you continue to take the introduction and go on into bloodborne pathogens, transmission, these boxes will then become available to you. They won't be grayed out. Since we've only just started it, we can only launch the introduction. So I'm going to click launch. And this is how you launch this version of a course. Great. And you'll see that there's kind of a bigger picture, and the voiceover starts immediately. In order to pause this, you can see that this sound bar and the slide bar is playing. To pause it, just hit the pause button. To back it up, you would just back it up and it backs up to the beginning of this slide and it'll start replaying once you hit that button. If you wanted to replay up to a certain section, you can pull this little knob here all the way over and then just hit play again and it'll start from that point in the slide. All right. The volume control is independent of everything else that your speakers are playing. So if you're on a Skype call, for example, or you are listening to something through your speakers, you can always turn this down, and whatever's playing in your speakers in addition to this course will continue to play at the normal volume. So this is independent. You can use that, turn it back up. This will increase or decrease the font size if you need this text to appear bigger. That's how you do it. This is your forward and your back button for each page. All right, so here we've already completed section introduction. Great, so let's go on to the next section. And that's going to take us back to our original progress page, and you can see it check mark is green saying you've taken the introduction. So now it's opened up this second bloodborne pathogens section, and then give it a second and your screen will populate. Alright, so this has got a nice video and some voiceover as well. Make sure you listen to the voiceover as well as read what's on screen, because there's a lot more going on in the videos and voiceovers than what might appear in text on screen. Much like the other course we just saw, there's a button called Resources. And inside of the Resources button you have your syllabus again. You have references, and you have a glossary. Okay. To get back to the lesson, you just click Return to Lesson, and then start playing your screen again. If you need help, you can click the Help button, and that will pop up some information. But let's say we're done with this today. We need to leave the course. We've only got a few minutes. Here's your Exit button. So use this Exit button to leave the course, because it will bookmark your page and it will save exactly where you were, so when you log in the next time you don't have to fumble through hitting the forward and back button. Okay, so I'm going to exit this course. You're going to be left with this page that says don't close this until the content has been exited. We exited it already, so close that, and then hit your stop button and you are done. So let's say that we completed one of these courses, and let's say we completed Bloodborne. It would appear here as completed, right? And it would have the date. Let me show you quickly one here. Like here is a completed one, Bloodborne Pathogens, completed, and then the completed date. You can also check your completions by going to the navigation panel on the left-hand side of your screen called My Training History right here. Click on it, and this will give you a history of all of the courses you have ever completed in the LMS and the Learn Center, pardon me. Okay, and you can see all the titles that this person has completed, quite a bit. And that is it, how to launch a course inside your Learn Center, and also how to check on whether you've completed your course. Thanks and happy learning.